The mysterious Mothman, a winged enigma, terrifying and captivating. Who is he? Myth, monster, or something more? Hello, dear viewers. Wishing you all an amazing day filled with positivity and energy. If you enjoy my content and want to see more of it, please support the channel by subscribing and giving a like. Your support means the world and motivates me to create even more awesome videos. Mothman, also known as the Mothman, or Moleman, is a mysterious cryptid whose name derives from the English words moth and man, reflecting its humanoid shape and winged moth-like nature. In various cultures and regions, it is called by different names. For instance, in Russia's Primorsky Krai, local legends about a similar creature near Mount Pidan are sometimes linked to Mothman. This entity has become an icon of modern cryptozoology and urban mythology, symbolizing the fear of the unknown and the supernatural. Mothman is a relatively recent figure in folklore, first emerging in American urban legends in the mid-20th century. Its fame originates from events in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, in 1966-1967. Folklorist John Harold Brunvand notes that Mothman's image parallels older myths, such as the Garuda in Hindu tradition, Anzu in Mesopotamian mythology, or even angels and demons in Christian and Jewish lore. These beings often served as harbingers of disaster or divine omens, a role echoed by Mothman's reputation as a herald of catastrophe. In American folklore, Mothman is frequently tied to tragedy, notably the collapse of the Silver Bridge in Point Pleasant in December 1967, which claimed 46 lives. Locals began associating the creature's appearances with this event, attributing prophetic or sinister qualities to it. In Russia, Mothman legends are less common, but in Primorsky Krai, particularly around Mount Pidan, tales of a winged monster with glowing eyes are sometimes interpreted as variations of the Mothman myth. These stories may stem from shamanic beliefs of the region's indigenous peoples, where winged spirits often acted as guardians or messengers. Similar figures appear elsewhere, such as Italy's reports of winged beings with red eyes in the 1970s, or Mexico's myths of La Lechuza, a giant owl that foretells death, suggesting Mothman fits into a broader archetype of the winged harbinger of doom. Mothman's appearance evokes both fear and awe. Standing between 2.5 and 4 meters tall, it towers over humans. Its body is lean yet powerful, with elongated limbs that seem both human and unnatural. Its skin is described as gray or black, sometimes covered in fuzzy fur, other times smooth like a reptile's. Some accounts mention no arms, while others describe long, clawed limbs resembling a predatory bird's talons. The creature's most striking feature is its massive wings, spanning 3-4 meters, resembling those of a bat, butterfly, or large bird, sometimes feathered, sometimes bare or furry. When not flying, the wings fold behind its back like a cloak, creating a menacing silhouette. Mothman's flight is silent, heightening its eerie presence as it emerges suddenly, a shadow gliding through the night sky. Its head is a point of contention. Some claim it lacks a head entirely, with 2 glowing red eyes where a neck and face should be. Others describe a large square head, devoid of mouth, nose, or ears, dominated by eyes that seem to peer into another world. This gaze, witnesses say, paralyzes, induces panic, or feels like the creature is reading their thoughts. Some reports mention slits resembling nostrils, or a complete absence of features beyond the eyes. The sounds Mothman emits add to its terror, cries blending an owl's hoot, a lion's roar, and a dying man's groans, piercing the soul and sparking inexplicable dread. Yet, in some cases, Mothman is silent, making its appearances even more ominous. Its form seems designed to inspire dread, blending the familiar with the alien, human with supernatural, embodying the fear of the unknown. Mothman dwells in places where nature and civilization collide, creating a liminal boundary between the familiar and the otherworldly. Its favored haunts are abandoned corners shrouded in fog and silence, where humans feel like intruders. In Point Pleasant, West Virginia, Mothman was sighted around old farms, derelict warehouses, and gloomy forests where the Ohio River snakes through the darkness. It was often seen in the TNT area, a forsaken World War II site where rusting bunkers and overgrown paths evoke a forgotten world. Mount Pidan in Russia's Primorsky Krai is another associated location, a peak surrounded by dense taiga forests and steeped in indigenous myths. Here, among ancient cedars and stone boulders, Mothman, or its local counterpart, appears in the pre-dawn hours, when mist blankets the slopes and only the rustle of leaves breaks the silence. Locals say the mountain is a portal to another realm, guarded by Mothman against those who disturb the spirit's peace. In Chicago, where Mothman was reported in 2017, it favors urban outskirts, parks, and the shores of Lake Michigan, where skyscrapers give way to dark alleys and abandoned piers. Here it glides over the water, its red eyes glowing like beacons in the night. These places share a sense of transience, belonging neither to nature nor humanity, existing in a liminal state where reality feels fragile. Mothman avoids bright lights and crowded areas, preferring twilight and solitude. Its presence is felt as a chilling breeze or the sudden sensation of being watched. Wherever it appears, the air grows heavier and shadows deepen, as if the world braces for something inevitable. Mothman's nature is enigmatic, its intentions debated. Some view it as a malevolent predator, others as a neutral observer or harbinger of doom. Its behavior defies human notions of good and evil, but always carries an air of menace. Mothman rarely attacks humans directly, though its presence sparks fear and panic. Witnesses describe its gaze as paralyzing, and its cries as capable of driving one to madness. In some cases, like in Mississippi, Mothman is blamed for attacking dogs, reportedly carrying them off into the night, suggesting a predator targeting easy prey, though its motives remain unclear. Perhaps it feeds on fear or hunts for survival. Often, Mothman is linked to disasters. Its sightings in Point Pleasant preceding the Silver Bridge collapse and in Chicago in 2017 coinciding with a series of accidents. This has led to theories that Mothman is a herald of calamity, appearing where tragedy looms, not causing events but warning of them, like an ancient oracle whose signs no one can decipher. Nocturnal by nature, Mothman shuns daylight, its swift and silent flight allowing it to appear and vanish without trace. It isn't bound to one place but seems drawn to areas where human activity disrupts the natural balance. Some cryptozoologists speculate it's a guardian punishing humans for encroaching on forbidden territories, though evidence is lacking. Its habits are secretive and unpredictable. It doesn't seek human contact but doesn't avoid it when paths cross. Encounters with Mothman leave a lasting mark, with witnesses often feeling their lives are forever changed. Mothman's origins remain a captivating mystery in cryptozoology, with several hypotheses offering different perspectives. The cryptozoological hypothesis, supported by researchers like Bernard Heuvelmans, posits Mothman as an unknown animal species, its descriptions resembling large birds like the sandhill crane or great blue heron, mistaken for something supernatural. Sheriff George Johnson of Mason County in 1966 suggested Mothman was an oversized heron off its migration path, though its size, wings, and glowing eyes don't align with known birds, making this theory contentious. The extraterrestrial hypothesis, popular in the 1960s amid UFO fervor, links Mothman to alien life, its sightings coinciding with UFO reports in West Virginia, and its red eyes and hypnotic gaze resembling alien descriptions. John Keel, author of the Mothman Prophecies, proposed Mothman as an interdimensional being tied to anomalous phenomena, a popular but unproven idea. The supernatural hypothesis casts Mothman as a spirit or demon, a harbinger of disaster, its connection to events like the Silver Bridge collapse reinforcing this belief, akin to banshees or other mythical death omens, though it doesn't account for physical evidence like tracks or sounds. The psychological hypothesis, backed by Brunvand and other folklorists, sees Mothman as a product of mass hysteria and imagination, fueled by local legends and media, with glowing eyes possibly being light reflections in a bird's eyes. Yet the consistency of accounts across time weakens this view. The ecological hypothesis suggests Mothman as a mutant resulting from environmental pollution, with the TNT area's chemical waste potentially affecting local wildlife, explaining its odd appearance but not its disaster connections. Each hypothesis has strengths and flaws, with a blend of cryptozoological and psychological explanations seeming most plausible. Mothman may be a real creature whose image was amplified by human fear and myth-making. Eyewitness accounts of Mothman are numerous and span decades. On November 12, 1966, in Clendon, West Virginia, 5 men digging a grave reported seeing a humanoid figure take flight from a nearby tree, describing it as dark, winged, and red-eyed. On November 15, 1966, in Point Pleasant, 2 young couples, Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Millette, claimed a large white creature with 3-meter wings chased their car, its eyes glowing like headlights, marking the first widely publicized encounter. Over the next 13 months, around 100 people reported Mothman sightings, with 2 firefighters calling it a giant bird with red eyes, and contractor Newell Partridge describing a creature whose eyes shone like reflectors in his flashlight's beam. In Chicago, on April 15, 2017, 3 witnesses over 4 hours reported seeing Mothman, one describing it as a giant bat hovering near Lake Michigan, others noting its silent flight and hypnotic gaze. In Mississippi in 2015, a woman named Marie, last name withheld, saw Mothman near Arkabutla Lake, describing a winged humanoid attacking dogs, echoing local tales of a creature preying on animals. In Russia's Primorsky Krai, residents near Mount Pidan speak of a winged monster with glowing eyes in the forests, though less documented, aligning with Mothman's traits. These accounts, despite varying details, consistently mention wings, red eyes, and fear, though the lack of physical evidence like photos or tracks fuels debate. Mothman has become a cultural phenomenon, permeating media, literature, film, and games. John Keel's 1975 book, The Mothman Prophecies, popularized Mothman, tying it to paranormal events and the Silver Bridge collapse, remaining a cryptozoology classic. The 2002 film adaptation starring Richard Gere portrayed Mothman as a mystical entity predicting disasters, cementing its place in pop culture. Mothman frequently appears in news, especially after new sightings, with MUFON reporting Chicago encounters in 2017, sparking media interest in outlets like Point Pleasant Register, 1966, and alltravels.com.ua, 2017. In video games, Mothman features as a monster or mystical figure, notably in Fallout 76, 2018, set in West Virginia, where it's a cult-worshipped enemy, and in Gravity Falls, Legend of the Gnome Gemulets, 2015, referenced in the game's mythology. Point Pleasant hosts the annual Mothman Festival, drawing thousands of tourists, with a Mothman statue and museum making it a local icon. Mothman symbolizes both fear and human curiosity about the unknown, inspiring writers, filmmakers, and gamers, transforming a local legend into a global cultural phenomenon.